up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl, Patrina Dixon. It's My Money Lady. Thank you again for tuning in for another episode of It's My Money with Patrina Dixon in the Money Exchange. I am so excited for today's guest. I can't wait to tell you who he is. But before we jump in, remember, if you're not subscribed, make sure you go down and hit that red subscribe button. And then if you want some wonderful free resources, drop down and hit the links in below because I prepare those to help you along your money journey. And I have my friend. I met this young man when my husband and I traveled to Martha's Vineyard. We stayed at his amazing B&B, and I had to have him on because a lot of people stay in Airbnbs. He actually has a B&B, which stands for bread and breakfast, and I want to talk a little bit about the differences between the two and how people who return to Martha's Vineyard year after year after year chooses his place. And we're going to talk a little bit about why I am going to, and then we'll talk a little bit about why he typically hears from his guests while they revisit his place when they're back at the vineyard. So with me, I have Erik Albert. He is the host, the owner of Oak Bluffs Inn in Martha's Vineyard. Mr. Erik, how you doing, my friend?
I'm well. Thank you for having me on your show. This is my first podcast, so hope it goes well.
Yes, I'm sure it will. So, Mr. Erik, and let me tell you, he's in the kitchen within the Airbnb. He's probably just finished baking warm cookies and making fresh lemonade. You all, I'm telling you, the service in this place is just amazing. So, Erik, let's just start with what is the difference between an Airbnb and a bread and breakfast, which is a B&B?
B&B, bed and breakfast.
Yes, bed and breakfast.
Similar. The main difference is we are a licensed business. We are inspected by the town government. They come in. We have a board of health. We have the building inspector and the fire department. The three of them come in together. They go through our place. There's alarm systems. There's means of egress. There's fire extinguishers. There's basic codes on railings. Any of those bring any town the book for the fire department or the building, it's going to be that big. There's no way that most people are even going to touch that. They are here to facilitate compliance with the code.
I love it.
And it's your life. God forbid if the building caught on fire, why would you want to be there?
Exactly right, and I love that. And I remember talking to you. So I had visited Martha's Vineyard for the very first time, and I checked out a few places. And I remember talking to Erik, and I love the things that he said. And it's almost like you pay what you get for what you get. And I had never been, and after talking to him, and he was so gracious because I called him I don't know how many times, Erik, and he answered the call every time, or he got back to me, or texted me back, which is the customer service that I so much appreciate it. But Erik, I said when I go back, I'm going there. I was there at your house, at your B&B with other people that have been there numerous times. Why do you think people return to Oak Bluffs Inn when they go to the vineyard?
I'm a little biased, of course. The main part is we have great location, great spot. People love it. I like being here too. The staff enjoys it. They feel that they're where they want to be.
Mm,
In that regard, they just to some degree they've always come to Martha's Vineyard. I grew up coming to the Vineyard. Our family had a house here. We would spend a week or two every summer. Met other people in similar situations. I had summer friends where you only saw them once a week. There was no social media, so but there was very special relationships. So the vineyard always has that. With our place, I will admit the building is fantastic in location,
yes,
and
it is.
we do a nice job. We really do. My wife and I, we're partners. We disagree on plenty, but we want to be number one, and that's our goal.
Yeah. You're being very modest because you got to drop in the customer service. Like you are the hostess with the mostest of the mostest. Like just absolutely. I know that has to be a key element to people returning back to your B&B.
I appreciate that, and you're right. Maybe I am being humble. I'll just roll with that. Right now, we're demoing bathrooms and making the place fresher for next year. On the same token, I'm going skiing on Saturday for a week or so. So like we're not open, and It allows me the latitude for 5 months a year for me to do what I want to some degree. 7 months a year, I'm here every day. I'm working. I'm available. Close by if I'm not here. But the other five allows me freedom. So if I want to go away for 2 weeks, I can.
Mm. I love it. I love it. So you mentioned a little bit before we go into the structure of the building. Let's go a little bit back to this customer service because that it's worth the money. I just want to tell you that. Like he literally is around. Like you if you want for something, he is there to provide it. If you need to know where to go, where not to go, what to do, when, what time, he's able to provide that. The concierge like services was unbelievable. And then like I said, he the hostess of the mostest, meaning like he was I just can't I can't thank you enough for what we experienced. And I know we weren't unique in receiving that service. And it was from, we got in a lot earlier than expected. And he knew that because I had communicated that to him. But he still welcomed us in, not into the room, but we were able to sit on this beautiful porch. And he was serving breakfast because with the B&B, bed and breakfast, you get breakfast. We weren't yet checked in, but he made us individual breakfasts and brought it out to the porch to us along with coffee. And you all know me, I'm a coffee drinker. We weren't even checked in. So technically we were not guests of Eric's at the time. And we still he extended breakfast to us on the wonderful porch outside. I just can't even tell you. I loved it so much. So that I would think is a key element when you compare the two between a bread and breakfast and Airbnb. You not get to say you don't get customer service, a level of customer service, but you don't get to meet the owner most times, and they're not there and able to answer your what you need on a quick basis. So that's something that was appreciated. So now let's talk about this structure, right? You're in a prime location on the main drag there, and then you have this porch that I call it the wraparound porch that you want to sit on. People that didn't stay there wanted to come by and say hello to us on the porch. So talk about the porch and what you get, the feedback you get, and why that's a prime location and a prime sitting spot to kind of just see the people that walk by and the things that go on there.
The porch, I call it my big gun. It really is. It's the best part of the inn. Is really you sit out there. Temperature's great. We got plugs, extra outlets out there if you want to charge your laptop. We have electric throw blankets, so now you can use the porch even longer. We are in town, but just on the quieter end, so there's enough going on that it's entertaining, but it's not busy. Um, just the porch, it's porch life. That's what we call it.
Ah, the
Porch life
porch.
is that good.
You just reminded me of the heated blankets. Oh my, y'all. The heated blankets, and you can plug your phone up right outside in the porch. And again, he would bring the lemonade he has out there. You smell the cookies. Oh, I'm just thinking about it, reminiscing to the time we were there. So, the other thing I really enjoyed about, again, talking about the building is that it had different levels, right? So we were happened to be on the first level. We had a private bathroom, which was amazing. But then you brought us all the way upstairs to, was it a lighthouse that was up there that when we went all the way to the top?
Tower lookout.
A tower lookout. So we were able to see the entire main drag. What is the main drag called? Is that called
Circuit Avenue. We have a
Circuit Avenue?
webcam up there. We have a webcam up there too.
Yes,
You want to
so
see it?
we were able to go there. My husband was a little wheezy once he was up there, but I was trying to get content, y'all. I was up there getting content. So Eric brought us and another guest up there, and we were able to see the entire Circuit Ave from the top of his location. So you got
You could see the water. You can see Cape Cod. You can nice breeze.
it was just breathtaking. And like I loved all the content that I was able to get from up there. So then you have different levels, right? In the different rooms. So talk a little bit about the choice in what you did. There's some that have private bathrooms, some not. Talk about that.
No, no, no. They all have
Oh, do they? I didn't realize
in
that.
my house.
They all
My
have
house.
private bathrooms.
Of course.
I didn't
But
even
if
know
that's the
that.
way you want to be treated, I don't share bathrooms. Come on now.
I listen. I thought it was special when I got the downstairs
Uh,
room with the bathroom. I thought that was special.
they're all special right there.
I love it. So Eric, so all private. So you all all private bathrooms. That I don't know if that's a unique factor, but that makes this place even better. That they all have private bathrooms. When we the water, they're very close to the beach, walking distance. I don't walk, so I'm telling you they're walking distance because I walked. But Eric also provides the towels and the chairs for you to when you go to the beach as well. And again, tell you what time to go, the things that are going there. So Eric, so I know this is not an easy feat. I know you do it flawlessly. You do it, just where you're just your relation, your attitude while you're there is just so infectious. You just want to talk to you. How did you? I know there's things that are when you don't have great moments. So talk a little bit about that because we've talked about all the positive stuff. What are the like cons, if you will, about owning a B and B?
Here you go. I will real quick back to the beach towels and the beach chairs. Good business, good hospitality is good business. People are just you don't want to bring a towel on vacation with you. Who wants to carry that and it's wet and sandy? Where you're gonna put it in your luggage, or you're gonna bring a wet towel into the room? Like none of that makes any sense whatsoever. And this way, you can. Most people are not bringing a car here, so they're relatively light in what they have, and they're not bringing a beach chair and a towel and an umbrella with them. It's just so if we can provide that for them and make this, it's all about making the stay memorable and easy.
Yes.
And essentially, the downtimes, I mean, it's some of the same problems everywhere. It's hard to get people to do work on the building. Like sometimes things are time sensitive, and sometimes it's not, like 100%, but we'll get it working. We'll get it working enough until that person can come. And then off season, there's all sorts of stuff. I'm in the crawl space still. I'm painting. We're like outside. We're running power tools. I'm going to the dump twice a day with construction materials that are being demoed out of here. We're redoing bathrooms and stuff. So it makes it, when they have it on Instagram, it looks all cool and they cut it and they put all the stuff up. I'd rather be hanging out. I don't feel like doing that. I really don't. I, I don't feel like I'd rather go ride my bike than do that.
Yeah. Well, so
Um, but
in
there's no help, so that I don't like spending money. So it's better for me to at least be available for when the contractors are here.
yeah, and the other thing, I remember there being like a back house. So if somebody came and had, multiple people or children, family members or larger family, you have actually like another whole house, if you will, in the back, right?
You might it's a building, but the rooms are individual. When you open the door, you're outside.
Okay, okay, okay.
So it's just private entrances, and there's a backyard area with umbrella tables, and there's a fire pit there too.
Yeah. Oh,
So
it's a fire pit, y'all. Y'all heard that, right?
I have a
And you have
parking.
all street parking too for those that a lot of people don't come with cars, but sometimes people do. And we actually came with ours. We were able to park. We had parking off the street, like in the parking
We have
next to the
parking. We have a
home.
bike rack too. We encourage people to ride their bikes. It's a great place for it.
Absolutely. So, and then the other thing I wanted you to share is I know you have a high occupancy rate. So, when people are interested to come to stay in Martha's Vineyard in general, and namely your place, when should people start to book? Like, how far do they need to do that? Because I know when it's high time, it's high time. It's really hard to get in. I happen to find you when I need it, and the dates worked out really well. But when should people start to plan if they're interested in doing that into 2024?
It all depends on when you want to come.
Mm.
First 3 weeks of August, you're gonna want to book early. Even you get on a waiting list if the calendar's not available for a place. If that's when you want to go, because that's when really the people are gonna come year after year. And I have people they come and they want to book the second week of August, and I'm like, well, the people this year are gonna take it next year, so you can't even get in with some degree. Um, and then you got like bigger weekends like the 4th of July and Memorial Day or Labor Day, but they don't compare to those first 3 weeks of August. And then also you can look at if you have time, if you can come midweek, great. You have a lot of flexibility. If you could come the weekend after the 4th of July, for instance, that is a lull. Anytime you have a peak, you have a valley. This year, the 4th, I believe, is on a Thursday. So people are going to take Friday off. Thursday's the holiday. You take Friday off, and and now you have a 4-day weekend. The following weekend, people aren't really going away. You have a peak, you're going to have a valley.
Okay, got it. Got it. And what would you say is your I don't know, there's probably so many, but if you had to name one, what's the best thing that you like about the being a B&B bed and breakfast owner or host? I don't know what you call yourself.
Innkeeper, innkeeper. I live a good life. I admit it. I work a lot, but people enjoy the place, and I'm around people that enjoy the place, and everyone's generally having a good time. Even the staff, they enjoy it here. There's good vibes all around, and even if I'm not quite working, but I can sit on my porch. I'm good to go. I'm 5 minutes from the beach. I can go swimming for 15 minutes and come back, and then the flexibility that allows me off season. And I really do meet great people and experiences and things that have happened here and friends. And we've now we're at the point after 25 years where we have guests that have passed on, and it's crazy how it affects us. So just overall, I do. I live a good life.
Oh no, you didn't. Eric told me when I own my show I should add this thing. Oh no, you didn't. So
Catchphrase.
you living your best
Catchphrase.
life, right, Eric?
Living my best life. I really am.
Okay. And Eric,
There's down times and whatever, and you write it in your journal, and you just keep smiling and go.
I love it.
Forward.
So now there may be people that are watching that say, I want to live my best life in the way that Eric does. Maybe not in Martha's Vineyard, but I want to try this B&B, this bread and breakfast thing. What would you tell somebody that have aspirations to, open their own?
I'm not hating on anyone that's having an Airbnb, but that would be
No, be it
easy
bread
to
and
do.
breakfast.
I understand that the trend of these things is they're turning into private homes, corporate kind of like bigger lodging have been buying them. The entry is pretty high to get into it. I got in super low, and where the market is now, there's no way I could have got the funding and stuff like that. Let alone like there's a lot. It's come a long way, but I think for a lot of people, if they wanted to do a version of that, maybe they do have a cottage out back of their house. I mean, as long as they live in somewhere cool, and I would encourage them to make it as safe as possible.
Safe as possible. And again, provide the good customer service, right?
Of course. Number one is safety. The safety of the guests and the staff is paramount. Like nothing's more important than that. And then of course make it a very nice learn about it. I don't know, go stay at a place. Um, read the reviews, go check places out.
And you mentioned the staff a few times. So talk about the staff in the way like what do they do? I know they turn over the rooms, right? Any part.
My staff mainly is housekeepers that I have in the summertime. I have 4 or 5 of them. Um, they pool tips for the week. So say, you're not there on the last day or whatever. This way the staff's invested in the entire stay of everyone. I'm like, I want the hallways clean. And I don't want you thinking that like, oh, it's not a tip day. I'm going to chintz on this room. I'm like, well, you're only messing yourself up. But we empower them. I train them. I teach them about the island if they don't know. If I'm not available, they know, like, show them around. They know I have them over for breakfast. So they sit on the porch themselves, they order, and like their friends will walk by and they look up like, oh yeah, no, it's great. But the more your staff knows about the overall running of the business, the better their job they will do. I show them the calendar. I show like how I'm marketing in the next week.
Got it.
There's long game and there's short game. Long game is say October next year. I don't know. It's out there. I don't really. If it books, great. I'm not expecting it to book. But once we get in the season, I look at the next week. Should I raise the rate? Should I lower the rate? There's an automatic bump up to the rate. Or maybe I take the 2-night requirement out and I show them, I look at the weather and I show them, and they're not touching my calendar, but they're aware of how I'm running the business. And I think that somewhere, somehow, it's going to translate back to them that this is why we do this way.
I love it. I love it. And then, so bed and breakfast. So you get the bed, the room, private bathrooms, the breakfast you provide. But you also do these warm cookies and this fresh
Lemonade in the
lemonade. Now,
afternoon.
why did you add that? Like, why? Like, so if somebody wanted to add something, what
Textbook.
made you? What
That's
made you?
not textbook. We didn't make that up.
Huh?
Uh, Chocolate chip cookies. People are like, ooh, you should do like oatmeal raisin. It's like, no, because it doesn't light the house up.
No,
Chocolate
yeah, but
chip
I'm saying like
cookies
what
light
made
the
that's
house up.
another
That's what they
little
love.
thing that I loved. Like what sort of like what made you do that and what sort of things that people should do to make their the experience of their guests better.
It's about value and what the people, as long as people, they don't want to be nickel and dime. As long as they feel they got something of value for what they paid, they're going to be happy with the stay. We have snack bar with pretzels and potato chips and popcorn. It's free. I don't have time to charge you $5 for a bag of chips at 60 cents. That's stupid. Like it doesn't. You factor that into the rate, and with little things like the lemonade and the cookies, it really it's not that hard to give. And again, the people feel that like, oh, maybe that's why they come back because they like it. They feel that they get it. They have their friends in
I love
there.
it.
And they'll
I
have
love it. So make sure it's safe. Make sure it's a great experience. Make sure the staff is invested by way of understanding why they do what they do. Translates into the overall business and understanding the business, and then adding the chocolate chip cookies and the you all fresh lemonade, and
put mint in it. Put mint in it. It's like mojito without
yeah,
the
yes,
but we
that's
have
why I love it because I love
yeah.
mojitos because I don't drink alcohol. But Eric, this is not like Eric. I asked Eric to be on. Eric didn't ask me to be on. I wrote a blogged about this when I came back. That's how I still talk about my experience. I really appreciate the experience my husband and I had while I was there, and it was largely in part of what you gave us from a customer service perspective, and then the feeling that we had being at your place in your porch. I just can't talk enough about that. So I appreciate you. For those that are listening that may consider Martha's Vineyard for their upcoming vacation this year or in a future year, what do you say to them about Oak Bluffs Inn?
Oak Bluffs Inn is where you want to stay on Martha's Vineyard. We got the spot. Oak Bluffs is the best town on the island, and we'd love to have you come on out.
I love it. And you all, Circuit Ave in Oak Bluff. So, there's three areas there in that particular area. That is the drag. That is like the drag you want to be on. But his spot, although on the drag, although you can see people walking back and forth, it's not loud and noisy. Like, it's really amazing how you're just positioned really, really well. And so I encourage you to check it out. There's some nice, art galleries across from it. And again, I can't wait to come back and see you in person. So I thank you so much for being on the show. Tell them again the name of it and where it's located in your name.
My name is Eric Albert. I'm the owner of the Oak Bluffs Inn in Oak Bluffs, Massachusetts, on the island of Martha's Vineyard.
Oh,
Come
no,
on
you
out.
didn't.
No, you didn't.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Eric, for being on. I really appreciate it. You all, thank you for always rocking with me, Patrina Dixon, that is my money lady. If you have not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. When you listen to this episode, ensure that you leave some comments. Let us know what you think. And if you end up at Oak Bluffs Inn, make sure you come back and let me know about your experience. Make sure you say hello to Eric for me. And then we're going to end this one with, oh, no, you didn't. Go ahead, Eric.
No, you didn't.
I love it so
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
All right, you all, rack out. See ya.
All right, peace out. Be well.
Okay, bye.